is AIMAN bin NORHISHAM.
Hi, I am Muhammad HAKIM bin ABDUL HASSAN.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is AZMI bin JIWARI.
Hi, my name is NORHAFEEZ bin RAZALI.
Hi, my name is MIRZA MUHTADI.
East Timor is also known as Timor-Leste. Timor-Leste flag is comprised of 4 colors: red, yellow, black and white. The capital and the largest city of Timor-Leste is Dili, and the currency of Timor-Leste is the United States dollar. Next, the geography of East Timor reveals a rugged landscape in the eastern side of the island of Timor in Southeast Asia. Plus, Timor has a hilly backbone that rises to above 2,000 meters. Furthermore, in 2021, the population is expected to reach 1,340,513,000. Lastly, the current president of East Timor is Francisco Guterres, popularly known as Luolo.
The country's identity is composed of many indigenous groups, each with its own language and cultural practices. The country consists of a Papuan, Malayan, and a variety of Malayo-Polynesian groups. Titim is the largest Malayo-Polynesian group, accounting for approximately 25% of the population. The Titim also dominated the language and is one of the official languages for the country. Other than that, there are about 40 different Papuan and Malayan languages or dialects. Due to its influence, Portuguese is one of the country's 2 official languages, alongside Titim. They are the only country in Asia who speaks Portuguese, if you don't count Macau. According to 2015 census, 91.8% have at least some proficiency in Titim, compared to 62% in Bahasa Indonesia, 60.7% in Portuguese, and 39% in English. Indonesian and English are considered to be working languages. Nearly all of the population is Roman Catholic, with tiny Protestant and Muslim minorities. The country's official religion is Christian, among the only 2 in Southeast Asia alongside the Philippines. Some vestiges of traditional religious belief are also practiced in conjunction with Catholicism. About 7/10 of the population is rural. Of those classified as urban, roughly half lives in Dili.
Timor-Leste is heavily dependent market economy, driven by coffee, oil and sandalwood. Currently, Timor-Leste's economy is mostly dependent on the extraction of oil reserves from the Timor Sea, which account for a massive 80% of GDP. These funds have enabled significant investment in core services and infrastructure, especially related to roads and electricity. In Timor-Leste, non-oil economy only accounts for 21% of GDP. Agriculture plays a very important role in Timor's economy, employing more than 50% of the population. Given the country's natural beauty, culture and heritage, tourism is seen as a critical sector to future economic development, a goal to be achieved by focusing on cultural heritage, adventure and ecotourism experiences. East Timor was colonized by Portugal in the 16th century and was known as Portuguese Timor until the 1975, when the Revolutionary Front for an Independent East Timor, or known as the Fredolin, declared the territory's independence. 9 days later, it was invaded and occupied by the Indonesian military. It was declared Indonesia's 27th province the following year. The Indonesian occupation of East Timor was characterized by a violent, decades-long conflict between separatist groups, especially the Fredolin and the Indonesian military. In 1999, following the United Nations-sponsored Act of Self-Determination, Indonesia relinquished control of the territory. As Timor-Leste, it became the first new sovereign state of the 21st century on the 20th May 2002 and joined the United Nations and the Community of Portuguese language countries. Although Timor-Leste is not yet a member of ASEAN, it has engaged closely economically with ASEAN countries, particularly Indonesia, Singapore, Vietnam, Malaysia and Thailand. Throughout its quest to join ASEAN, questions have been raised regarding Timor-Leste's readiness to join the bloc. The idea of readiness is quite vague, but has nevertheless mostly been understood through a technical lens in terms of economic condition, human capital, and the adequacy of its infrastructure.
The issue that I want to focus about Timor-Leste on economic is that Timor-Leste can cope with the economic pressure where the economy of Timor-Leste can handle with the demand for jobs and the high proportion of youth in the country. Timor-Leste employment is still dominated by the agriculture as the source of livelihood, for over 70% of the population outside of Dili. The state and politicians of Timor-Leste know that they can depend on the domestic economy to finance its activity because 85% of their annual revenues and spending came from the petroleum, and only just 15% from the annual revenue and spending come from the domestic part. Many issues involving on Timor-Leste on political, economic, and social, but there are many also issues that involve Timor-Leste in the political issues that I can discuss. But the political issue that I want to focus more is the political turmoil that happened in Timor-Leste in 2020. This issue happened because of the following resistant era leader, Zanoku Samon, withdrawal from the National Council of Timor-Leste Reconstruction, CNRT, party from two ruling coalition. These have made a dispute between the Fedlin Party coalition partners and Fedlin President Francisco Guterres' refusal to swear in the seven proposed that allegedly corrupt CNRT minister. Gusamo apparently will to reshape the Timor-Leste political CNRT favor that backfired in 2020 when President Luulo refused to accept the resignation of People Liberation Party Prime Minister Jose Maria Vasconcelos. These have kept him in the office until a new coalition have been formed, leaving the minority government operating on a monthly budget and crippling under the government spending depend in the local economy. A new economy has been formed between the People Liberation and the Noble Advancement of Timor's national unity to compromise Fedlin and succeed with the coalition party held of 36 of the 65 seats that remained stable throughout the 2021. The stability in the parliament have enabled them to respond to the COVID-19 in 2021 effective.
Education attainment levels in Timor-Leste are low. Prior to independence, many of the country's schools were destroyed and the teachers were in short supply. Based on the 2015 UNESCO report, the challenge in secondary education is to ensure that students graduate from basic education have access to quality secondary education. However, approximately 70% of the grade 1 students do not meet the basic learning outcomes. In order to overcome this issue, it is a priority to provide adequate infrastructure, equipment, and qualified teachers to improve the learning and skill outcomes of the students. Other than that, the government has provided sustainable models of preschool for learning programs which would help children in remote areas transition from home and preschool to first grade.
The second one is undernutrition. Timor-Leste is a food deficit country with 37% of the population suffering from food deprivation and has one of the highest rates of undernutrition in Asia. Undernutrition can have long-term consequences on children's development, such as malnutrition. The causes include low incomes, food insecurity, limited access to health services, and a lack of understanding around health and nutrition. Therefore, the introduction of Better Food, Better Health is one of multi-sectoral NSA projects funded by Australian government. The project aims to improve the nutrition of mothers and children by promoting better nutrition, increasing the availability of diverse foods, and increasing household incomes from food production.
In conclusion, Timor-Leste became an independent nation after more than 4 centuries of Portuguese colonial rule and 2 decades of Indonesian annexation in 2002. Since then, the government of Timor-Leste has been focused on retaining political unity and boosting economic growth. This is not an easy undertaking after the widespread violence, population displacement, and property destructions to the country experienced following the 1999 referendum. Most of its infrastructure was destroyed at the time, including electrical, water, and sewerage system, roads, school, and medical facilities, as well as public and private sector properties. Despite the steady progress made to the date, more than 40% of the population is estimated still live below the poverty line, and there is high unemployment.